Hi, this is Lorene, and I'm doing another video. If you'll give me a second to clear, center, and balance my energy, we'll get started. Okay. So, what's coming in recently has been very much about clarity and boundaries. And I had a lot of information come in. I didn't write any of it down because I felt like it was more important for me to sit quietly and open myself up and listen, and allow that energy and that information to flow through me and share it from that place, because some of the stuff was a little uncomfortable for me to receive. So if I just allow that energy to flow through me and share the information, it makes it easier. And so I decided that whatever I remember or what's coming in the moment would be shared. So this morning I just woke up, so a lot of times as soon as I wake up, a lot of stuff starts coming in. A lot of information starts coming in. Or maybe it's been coming in, but I'm recalling it from a conscious state. And I'm in an audience and I'm on stage or elevated where we could see them is a person speaking, and it's a chief of a Native American tribe. And he's talking about donations to help with their cause. And so I raised my hand and I respectfully said, there is no money that can fix the problems that we have. The only thing that can fix the problems or the struggles or the conflict or the discord that we have is time and attention. And that's on all levels, from family all the way up to society and governmental issues, okay? Conflicts between people individually on the street or countries, let's say. Time and attention. The most valuable thing, and I'll speak from my personal experience, the most valuable thing I give to my children is my time and attention. Not clothes, not phones, not video games, not anything. The most valuable thing I give my children every day since the day they were born is my time and attention. And that is not any different from any part of our society or any segment of our society. The most valuable thing we give our peers, our children. As a teacher, the most valuable thing I gave my students is my time and attention, okay? The most valuable thing we give our co-workers as we work and collaborate is our time and attention, okay? Money creates blocks. When we talk about currency, I need this amount of money to do this. I need this amount of money to do that. No, what you need is me to be present, focused, and to give you my time that is mine to give, and then my focus and my attention on whatever the task is, okay? And then we can do whatever we want together as we move forward with our time and attention. There's enough food and resources for everybody. We can allocate those things amongst all of us from a place of love, compassion, time, attention, perseverance, support of one another. There is more than enough for everybody. And so that message came very clear. Money is a block. Currency is a block for us, preventing us from doing what we need to do to take care of each other and to take care of this world. So I shared that. I didn't share that whole thing that I just told you. What I shared with this group when I stood up and respectfully expressed myself was, we don't need money. We need time and attention. We need to give each other our time and attention to drive forward whatever this cause is. And I was respectfully heard. But then from the back, I sat back down, and from the back, a little boy came up to me. So in a previous video, I would say it's got to be at least 1.5 years ago. And if I can find that video, I'll put it in the description. I probably have to go to my journal and find the picture I drew, and the date of that journal entry, and then I could probably find the video. But if I can find it, I'll share that with you. I had a vision of myself riding a horse into on a Native American reservation. I was dressed in all white trousers, though, with and the clothes had a red stripe going down the arm. I had a white, what looked like it was a panel. So it was a rectangular panel of fabric, leather, that went straight down, or suede, that went straight down the front of me, down to about my knees, and then the same on the back, and then there are 2 straps holding it over my shoulders. So it was white, and it was actually over my clothes. And again, I had that red stripe going down the side of my clothes. And I was wearing a white, massive headdress, white feathers, with a, if I remember correctly, a red band which held all the feathers together, going down my head and down my back. If I was standing, it would have gone to the heels of my feet. And I came into this Indian reservation on a white horse, and I walked up to this little boy who was about 4 years old, and I whispered to him that he would be the next chief of this tribe. But it was for him to know. No one was to know this yet. And so this morning when I woke up and I had that experience, and I shared my feeling, perception of what needed to be shared with this group, I then sat down, and that same little boy walked up to me. And it was at that time that this little boy was meant to be presented to the chief. So once again, I saw myself in that white outfit with the red stripe and the headdress, and I brought the little boy up on the horse with me, and he had on a similar version of, like, I would say, this is what I'm feeling. When a child is identified as someone who would be a elder, who will be a future elder in a tribe, there is certain garments that they wear to identify them at a young age. So this little boy had on like a white outfit, but it wasn't as formal as my outfit that I had on, my dress that I had on. And then he had a smaller headdress with just 2 or 3 feathers white on the back. And I want to say he didn't have a shirt on, or he had a very scant, I don't know the word I want, but it wasn't a lot of fabric on top, and then just short pants, almost like what I would see in an old movie, like with the panel in the front of the groin area and a panel in the back. And I ride him in to the front stage where this chief of the tribe is, but no one can see my face, so I am anonymous. And I present the little boy to the chief, and I let him know that this is going to be your future chief of your tribe. But the chief was able to identify me, but nobody else was. And then I left. So I'm not saying that this is literal. I feel like this is a metaphor. And I feel like what came in very strong was the Native American people who have held steadfast to their traditions are blessed and favored. That's the word that comes. They're favored. And they will have rewards that will come to them. But any of these people who have dishonored the traditions of their tribe will be treated the same as any other person on this planet who is not in a place ready to transcend, who has not met the vibration of Mother Earth. And then there will be an integration of the Native American people and indigenous people on the planet, integration with other people on the planet who are transcending, of all cultures. And that includes the raptors, and it includes the gladiola and her people in the water. So there will be a restructuring of the stewards of Mother Earth and who is meant to care for and heal the planet, as well as the people on the planet. Okay? And so and in these moments, this is the information that comes to me, and this is what resonates with me. And so I see and feel this information on many levels, from many planes of existence. And so when people receive this information, if you are listening to me, well, if you're watching this video, you're clearly listening to me. It's really important on your journey of awakening, on your journey of expansion, that you listen. And what does this mean for you? What's the symbolism? Okay, what is the what do all these, the feathers, the clothes, the color of the feathers, the color of the band, the little boy, how I describe his clothes, the situation, what resonates with you? What does that trigger in your intuitive mind, body, spirit? Does that have meaning for you? Because what I'm saying is not necessarily literal for you, okay? It can be, absolutely. There might be a very clear message. It might be a confirmation. Maybe what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing is exactly what you're seeing and experiencing, and that is a confirmation for you, or maybe just parts of it. But I don't want to discourage people because they're like, they can't relate to what I'm saying. It's not necessarily a literal interpretation of what I'm saying. You're not expected to make a literal interpretation of what I'm saying. You're meant to listen and determine what has meaning for you, and what has value for you, and what you can utilize on your path and purpose, okay? And so what comes in really strong is the intensity of the energy. So I teach some courses through an organization, and in their catalog they referred to everybody by their last name, not Ms. or Mr., but just by their last name. And what came to me first and immediately was military, because I work in a place where there's a lot of veterans. And the only people I know that refer to people, colleagues, by their last name are either in the military or in sports. I've never had anybody refer to me by my last name. I always go by Lorraine. And so it created discord in my energy field. And what immediately came to me was war, aggression, and violence. And that was the energy being projected. So I had to honor that information that was coming to me, and honor the fact that that is not an energy that resonates with me. Okay, so as I'm feeling this energy of war as a means to, and this is a paradigm that's been brought forward, a war as a means to bring about peace, or to express your frustration or anger, or to as a way to express your frustration or anger, or to hurt someone you feel has hurt you. It shows me that war isn't a means of peace. War is a means of oppression. It's a means to get people to do what you want them to do. And another more information that came to me was, I think it was when I was in college, when I was 21 or so, 23 maybe, that's when Bush Sr. Invaded Iraq, I think, and it was like 8 days. Oh, and I was like, oh yeah, we should do that because, they shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so even me being indoctrinated the way I was, believed that we were doing something good, when in fact all we were doing was invading somebody else and imposing our will on them, right? Which is completely inappropriate. My point is that when all this information came into me, and what I've learned and what has happened this last 4 months is, as I was transitioning and all this energy was flowing, was that this transition is about love at its root, unconditional love. And I cannot deviate from that. And there's something I say that came to me in about 2016. I am everything, everywhere, and nowhere. I permeate all things, unified always, never apart. Okay, and that was something I had to work through and integrate and understand, so I can start accessing higher levels of consciousness, different parts of the emotional body, empower myself, fulfill my path and purpose. Okay, so in this last 4 months, what came to me is something else. I am love, I am light, I am beautiful, I am divine. I will heal myself and this world from the love that is me. And so anytime I am put in a place where I become defensive, or I feel like I need to protect myself or somebody else that I care about, and these thoughts of aggression or anything that moves me out of center, I go right to that place. I am love, I am light, I am beautiful, I am divine. I will heal myself and this world from the love that is me. And I just embody pure love. And that's all I've been doing for the last 4 months. And so as this information is coming in about war, and war as a means of peace, I am clearly informed, and it is clearly, how do I say this? The information, the energy flows through my body. Violence brings about violence. Love brings about love. There is no other way. There is no other way. Walk always from love. Walk always, in every moment, in every experience, from love. And anytime my mind goes to a negative place, I embrace love. And anytime I see myself walking into a violent situation, I don't carry weapons. I'm not carrying weapons. I only have myself, my emotional body, and the love that is within every part of me. And I emanate that out. And that is my shield. That is my protection. Okay? That is the armor of God. And that's, I'll put that quote from the Bible in the description, but it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful saying that's in the Bible, but in the end, it's about carrying the love of the divine creator within us, in every part of us, and emanating that from us. Okay? Because the homeostatic state, when unity, divinity, the source, the creation of all, the creator of all things, or God, however you want to refer to that energy, is unified as one, not living in duality. This universe is an existence of the divine in duality. But when it is unified as and whole, its homeostatic state is unconditional love. It is love. So when we live from love, from pure love, we are embodying our divine selves. And it is that thing that protects us. It is that thing that brings about miracles. It is that thing that shields us from all the things that we were convinced we should be afraid of, or that could hurt us. Okay? And so, like I said, I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I'm not, 25 anymore. I'm 56. And I've had a lot of time to make mistakes. I've had a lot of time to learn from those mistakes, and I'm still not perfect. But every time my mind or my trauma or my experiences try to move me to a place of fear, defensiveness, anger, I always move myself back immediately. I am love. I am light. I am beautiful. I am divine. I will heal myself and this world from the love that is me. And that is my intention. I set that intention throughout the day, constantly. More 4 months ago than I do today, because I'm shifting my energy to that place. I'm shifting my energy to a place of love. And I am releasing the paradigms, the indoctrination that I've lived through, and shifting my energy to match Mother Earth. This is an ongoing process, and we will continue to do this to transcend, change, ascend, till we reach that homeostatic state of pure unconditional love. Okay? But that is very strong, very, very strong. When I say I'm setting boundaries, the boundary is I am love. I am unconditional love, and I live from that place. And when I create this field of love that protects me. And in videos I've done before, I've talked about clear centering, balancing your energy, and protecting your energy. And I create those torsion fields that set up barriers around me and keep cycling around and create fields of protection. And and every time I'd have a negative thought or an unbalanced thought, I would unintentionally put little tears in those torsion fields. And so I'd have to clear my energy, set up those fields of protection to help me, right? To help me on my path and purpose, to help bring clarity to the messages I receive and how I express myself in the world. But as I embrace love and embody love and unconditional love and live from that place, the field, it isn't a torsion field, it's my aura that's emanating love that protects me. Okay? So torsion fields, I've watched and seen videos and stuff where people talk about how our heart has a torsion field. A torsion field emanates from our heart. What's coming in right now is, I was raised Catholic with the dogma of religion, and then I had this massive shift. I say it was an awakening, but it was a shift in my energetic body. I think back now, I had one when I was 27 also. But, and I felt like I had to learn something. to help me understand what was happening. So I learned about the clairs, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, all the clairs, and I started to understand this spirituality from a different perspective. And I started studying like quantum theory, and a bunch of other stuff to understand how particles of energy work and so on. And so I started breaking down stuff to understand it, so I could understand what these visions were and what these manifestations were and what I was hearing when I'd hear voices, or so it just became really convoluted, and there's all kinds of information, and started learning about souls and twin flames and past lives and soulmates and all these things, and it started to get very convoluted and confusing and almost contradictory. So what I'm trying to say is, part of our journey is for us to understand and accept a lot of this stuff. We have to do research, and we have to figure out what these things mean and understand it and find out if it resonates or it doesn't resonate, and what to do with that information. But so we can release it, because I have a very clear understanding of the clairs and what they are and how I use them. And sometimes even when I'm making videos, I'll talk about a vision came in, that was clairvoyance, or I had some information came in, that was clairaudience. And I'll share that with you, but it really, at this point, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. As the information comes in through the flow of energy, I allow it, I process it, and I figure out how it's meant to help me on my path and purpose. And so at this point, I don't even use any of the information. I know it was meant to help me understand myself and this universe from a different perspective. But in the end, as we grow spiritually, as we understand this world from a different perspective, we'll understand that all these things, these sciences that make things so convoluted and confusing, they are unnecessary. We don't need to understand that in order to live from our heart and to exist from a place of love, because everything we need comes in through the flow of energy. Okay? And so the universe is extremely simple. It is very, very simple. Some people are driven to understand things in a different way, and as soon as they understand those things, they're going to let them go also. But for them to reconcile the information in their existence, they have to go through that experience before they can release it and say, you know what, I don't even need that in order to exist from this place that I'm in. And I did it, you'll do it, everyone will go through that process. It's a necessary process of reconciliation, okay, and revelation. Okay, it's a necessary process of understanding ourselves and this world and this universe from a different perspective, so that we can move to a different place. But then we can release that and live from our hearts, live from a place of love. Okay? I hope that makes sense, but that's coming in really strong. Everything seems very complex and convoluted on this world and in this experience, but it's not. It's very simple. From love, when you embody that part of the universe, of divinity, when you embody that, everything you need will be drawn to you from the love that you carry in your heart. And you will not need anything else, because that will draw to you the things that you need to exist, to be joyful, to be fulfilled, okay? Because that is part of this experience. Just the last thing that's come in is I exist in this flow of energy, and anything that creates a resistance to that flow creates discord in my energy field. And so I no longer entertain or engage anything that creates discord in my energy field. And so, and then that combined with embodying and embracing love and living from that place catapults me on my path and purpose. Okay. There has been, when people talk about timelines, there really are no timelines. And I'm not going to get into that, but people talk about shifting timelines and shifting to a different timeline. There are no other timelines. Once our experiences coalesce, this is solidified. There's no going back or going forward. Okay? There's only this moment. There are attempts to manipulate, but things are going to happen as they are willed from the divine consciousness. And although we do have a influence, because we each are fractals of that divine consciousness, we do affect every now moment to create the next now moment. These energies that are attempting to redirect what is meant to occur don't understand unity consciousness. Okay? They're living from separation, so they are attempting feats that are outside of their ability, because from separation they believe that they can succeed on their endeavor. But they are living from the pieces of reality that they are trying to, the paradigms, okay, their belief system, they are living from those paradigms, those belief systems, trying to force those thoughts, those beliefs, those paradigms in order to create a reality that they wish to see. But from that limited perspective, they are unable to see the greater reality of unity consciousness and understand that their actions are exercises in futility. Okay? So every moment that we take to embrace love and emanate love from our every part of us, mind, body, and spirit, moves us to a place that attracts all the things that we are meant to experience and meant to have in this experience to drive us forward on our path and purpose and bring us back into unity, into oneness, into wholeness. Okay? And when you release, live in the flow, and you release the discord, there is no unbalanced energy. There is no friction. Okay? There are no undesirable events. Okay? But this is a process that we go through to bring ourselves to a place where we can live from that place of unity, joyous balance. Okay? And there's no real word I can say to describe that. It's a feeling in my body that I get, but the closest word would be joyous, happiness, peacefulness, love, acceptance. Okay, when we live from a place of balance. Okay. So I guess overall, this is just about encouraging people to find what works for them, to help them find balance and embrace love, because that is the greatest field of protection that we have as we move through this next phase. of our transition, of our expansion, of our growth. Okay? All right. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.